the story of my first child, Moses. We named him Moses because he entered the world through a burning bush. And that's an old story. One person laughed. And that's the old, but I've never really told the full story of my second baby. And so here we go. But I'll try not to talk about pussies too much. Yeah, I'll throw in like a drug reference. There's plenty. Okay, so I want to start with my, I had the Moses, yay, and then I got pregnant, and then we lost the baby, and my husband asked if we could take a trip to Hawaii as like, I'm sorry, we miscarried. And I was like, correct. Correct. And I brought mushrooms to Hawaii, and I was we snorkeled with the turtles, and we did mushrooms together, and had a fun time. And now I've been trying to miscarry ever since because Bonnie wants to go to Waikiki. So then after the miscarriage, I was trying to talk to my dad, who's, he said, clap if you've never seen your father cry. Okay, clap if you've never seen your father. I'm just kidding, not tonight. But I've never seen my dad cry, as a lot of us here. He's just Stonewall. And I was like, okay, he does inappropriate jokes and sports analogies, and that's his whole existence. That's as deep as it gets. And I'm trying to tell him about what happened with my body and get vulnerable. And he's like, oh, that's like if the bases are loaded and the batter strikes out. I'm like, Dad, I'm talking about my miscarriage. And I'm not a sports person, but I think maybe it would be closer to a fumble. I don't know. Trying to get the analogies right. So my first baby, we spent a while trying to make it happen, the pussy birth, and it just didn't. So we had to do the C-section, and then because he was 10 pounds. And then the next baby was this big, and I was like, uh-oh, my husband's Shaq. Anyways, so so then the next baby's huge, it's a boy, and we're headed to 10 pounds. And they're like, if you want, you can just schedule the C-section. I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's redo the scar, let's do it. Sounds good. And so I was like, I don't even know that you could, I was pretty surprised I could just be like, yeah, let's just do that part since we already did it and we'll do it again. And then the doctor's like, okay, so you'll come in 1 week before your due date, which is great because the last baby was 2 weeks after and 10 pounds. So this one's going to be smaller because we're going to get him 2 weeks before he's due, or 1 week before he's due. And I'm thinking it's going to be the same thing, except for it's not COVID. It's a little bit less COVID-y out there. Anyways, so I get to the hospital, and the anesthesiologist is like, it was 6 in the fucking morning. He's like, when was the last time you ate? And I was like, this morning I had a bagel. And he was like, oh no, you cannot have a baby. You ate a bagel. And I was like, yeah. He's like, was there cream cheese on it? And I'm like, the smallest bit. This is just such small amount of cream cheese. And he was like, whoa, more cream cheese would be better for the absorption. I was like, but a lot. And I'm like, what did I do? And he said, we're going to have to wait hours. I don't know if he told me exactly how many hours, but I'm going to say 8 fucking hours. And they put me in a broom closet. And then they took they were like, we're gonna do a C-section, so we're going to have to shave your bush. And I was like, oh. So I'm in a paper dress, and they come with clippers. Like it's a barber, and he's like, okay, man, you watch the game? Fucking Steph Curry, right? I'm like, what are we doing? And it was fuck those clippers. I'm like, if I knew I couldn't have a bush, I would have gotten waxed the day before. But anyways, I'm sitting in this fucking broom closet because I had a bagel. Sorry. And I could feel the maternity ward talking shit because the Steinberg Garden Swartzes backed up the maternity ward because of a fucking bagel and a tiny bit of cream cheese. And I'm like, And then my doctor was like, I want you to meet another doctor. And I was like, okay, hi. And then he like sits on my bed. And I was like, what? And then he like kind of puts his hand right next to mine, kind of on my leg. He's like, yeah, it's going to be a good blah, blah, blah. Okay, bye. And then me and my husband just looked at each other and we were like, creepy. And my husband's like, creepy. And I was like, what the fuck was that you said? And he's like, I know, what the fuck, you need to touch him like the wall. And we're like, fuck that guy. And they're like, okay, you're ready for your surgery. And I was like, thank you so much. And I'm just walking over to the surgery, and they're like, husband sits outside. He's out the door. And I'm now in the surgery room, and I'm like, hello, I've done this before. And then I sit down, and they're like, the super not funny at all Asian anesthesiologist who told me I had to sit in a closet for 8 hours and tricked me with the cream cheese question. It was like, you need to go like arch your back a little bit, and then they put the something in your back, and if they do it wrong, you're paralyzed, and if they do it right, you're numb, but you can still kind of feel stuff. So I'm like pretty, because I did it before. I was like, I did it before. I'm fucking amazing at this. Been here, done that, bitch. Let's get it on. So then the creepo doctor is like, hi. So we're gonna hit it with the needle. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I've done this before. And then he had this like pillow over his crotch, and he like kind of held my hand, and the nurse was like, huh? And then he was like, I got it. And she's like, oh, you got it? And he was like, yeah, I got it. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Oh, we're having a surgery. You got it? You fucking got it? Okay, everyone got it? So I'm like, let's go. And so, I don't know, this guy has a pillow in front of his crotch, and he's holding my hand, and he starts to say, relax. He's really aggressively kind of like rubbing my hands to help me relax. And I wish at that point I was like, sorry, hold on that needle. I need a woman and all men to leave. I need every man in this room to leave, grab my husband, and then tell this doctor I never want to see him again. I swear he had like a little bit of a thrust to him when he was like, just relax. Just relax a little. Relax your body, princess. I do this every day. Just relax, baby girl. So then I lay down, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm not paralyzed, so that's fun. And then they like slice me open, pull out a baby, and then the baby starts to pee on the creepo doctor.
Yeah.
And immediately creepo doctor goes, oh, this kid's gonna be a lawyer because he likes to piss on doctors. And I was kind of like, sir, doctor, have you had trouble with the law? Who hates lawyers that isn't aggressively battling them about malpractice? Motherfucker, what? And so we get out of there. I have my baby. It was a whole big old fiasco. And then I'm feeling like postpartum and hormonal, but I'm also like, what the fuck was that? Like something was like unsettling about the birth, and I was trying to talk to my dad. I don't know why. It's like family members kind of hang around, but then I'm like, okay, but my boobs are going to be out the whole fucking day, and I don't want that in front of my dad, but he's here, so I guess I'll go in my room and hide my breasts, which is what you have to do in your postpartum. That's part of the sad part of postpartum is like, people hate you, and they're obsessed with the baby, and they're just like, hey, you little milk cow, get in there and make some milk, you fat bitch. I want to baby. Fat cow. So that was that, and I said to my dad, I was like, he kept making jokes. He's like, 2 C-sections. They should just put a zipper down there. I'm raging now. I'm fucking raging with hormones. And I was like, what is your problem? What is your fucking problem? Why are you like this? Why are you like this, Dad? And I'm like taking chairs and throwing them. And I'm like, he's like, I have Asperger's. The first time I've ever heard him talk about anything other than sports and jokes. He's like, I have Asperger's. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a fucking idiot. And I was like, when did you start going to therapy? He's like, I don't go to therapy. I took a quiz online. Like a quiz online that day. We also found out he was a blue Power Ranger. So a lot of really good information, but I will get into I will start airing out a little bit more daddy issues, but my dad, he's a lawyer from Tampa, Florida, a disability attorney, so you can catch him hitting on what could be a disabled person. There's my number on mic. I see you're limping. Call me if you want money from the government. My dad loves to run for office. He's obsessed with running for office. He lives in Tampa, Florida. He's a disability attorney, and he's run for office 5 times. And he's lost 5 times. And every time he loses, he ups the ante and promotes himself. So he lost for state legislator, then he lost for like Congress, then he lost for Senate, then he lost for President of the United States. I'm not kidding. And we lose, and like when I was in 6th grade, I think it was he was District 47. He was running for the House. I don't know. And we were wearing T-shirts, and I was really excited because I was still Delulu. And as we love our ladies, Delulu, I was Delulu, and I was like, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. Vote for my dad. And we like go and get signatures, and I was like, vote for my dad. I'm in 6th grade. And we would like go door to door. I was really excited. And then he lost, and I was really sad. And the reason he loses all the time, in 1990, first of all, he's a Democrat. Anyways, in 1990, my dad decided he wanted to get with some friends, and they opened up a bagel place next to all the gross strip clubs in Tampa. And when the strippers were done working in the morning, they would serve bagels. At my dad's bagel place, it was called the Bagel Boudoir, and they had strippers and lingerie, and these are Tampa strippers. They were like toothless and covered in tattoos. And it was like, he was ahead of his time, honestly. It was like breakfast Hooters. And, my father would go to this job at Bagel Boudoir, and then he'd come home, and my mother would be like, fuck you, I'm gonna leave you, you piece of shit, son of a bitch, I hate you. And then that was a perfect time for me to be born. So that was the world I was born into. And unfortunately, the Bagel Boudoir fizzled out because the food was horrendous. They made eggs in the microwave, which is the most offensive part of that story. And it closed, and I guess, it did its thing. And, my dad had to come back to his family and 3 daughters, who we all love him so much. And anytime he ran, there would be these, the Republicans would go hard with the negative campaigns. And they would be like, don't vote for Michael Steinberg. Michael Steinberg owned the Naked Bagel. Michael Steinberg had naked women selling bagels. Michael Steinberg's a bagel pimp. Brought to you by the Republican Party of Tampa, Florida. And now that I'm in therapy and I've been reflecting on my daddy issues and all my things, I can say, now that is what you call a smear campaign.